Asterisk the sun had barely begun its descent when Mr. Carter's black Range Rover pulled quietly into the long driveway. The engine cut out, and for a moment, everything was still. The towering mansion stood before him, elegant and serene, just as he'd left it, but something tugged at him, a whisper of unease. He hadn't told anyone he was coming home early. Asterisk he stepped out, his polished shoes clicking against the stone path as he made his way to the front door. With a practiced twist of the key, the lock gave way, the heavy oak door creaked open slowly, revealing the pristine marble foyer. Silence. No footsteps, no clatter of dishes from the kitchen, no giggles or pitter-patter of his son's feet echoing through the halls. Just the low hum of the air conditioning and the distant ticking of the grandfather clock. Asterisk he stepped inside and closed the door behind him. The sound seemed to echo unnaturally. Asterisk he loosened his navy tie and exhaled, setting his briefcase down on the credenza. The familiar scent of lemon polish and fresh lilies filled the air. Rosa had clearly cleaned today. Asterisk he muttered to himself, voice low and dry. Asterisk should have called. But sometimes it's better to see things as they are. Asterisk he walked slowly, his sharp eyes scanning the perfectly arranged decor, the untouched furniture. Everything looked in place, in place. Asterisk he stopped near the staircase, listening. Asterisk then. A muffled sound, a short laugh, no, a giggle, high-pitched, childlike. Asterisk Jamie? Asterisk Mr. Carter turned toward the living room, his brow furrowed. He moved toward the sound, footsteps silent on the polished floor, drawn forward by curiosity and something colder, something unfamiliar stirring in his chest. Asterisk then he heard it again, laughter, this time followed by a woman's voice, playful, encouraging. Asterisk his pace quickened. Asterisk, and just as he reached the threshold of the living room, he stopped. Asterisk Mr. Carter's eyes locked onto the surreal tableau in front of him. Asterisk his 6-year-old son, Jamie, stood barefoot on the glass coffee table, arms outstretched like a performer mid-show. His shirt was off. Tufts of golden hair scattered around his small feet like bits of cloud fallen from the sky. The boy's head was half-shaved, one side completely bare, the other still a mop of tousled curls. The contrast was jarring. Asterisk kneeling. Beside the table was Rosa, their maid of nearly 5 years, holding an electric razor in one hand and gently steadying Jamie's ankle with the other. Her brow was furrowed in intense focus, as if she were carving a sculpture rather than buzzing the child's head. Her uniform was slightly wrinkled, her sleeves rolled up to the elbow. She didn't notice him. Asterisk Mr. Carter couldn't speak. He didn't move. He just stood there, frozen, caught between disbelief and a swell of rising fury. Asterisk Jamie spotted him first. Asterisk Daddy. Asterisk his small face lit up with innocent excitement. He grinned, proud and expectant, like he was about to show off a masterpiece. Asterisk Rosa startled, her body stiffening as her head whipped toward the doorway. Her eyes widened when she saw Mr. Carter standing there, motionless, suit immaculate, expression unreadable. Asterisk the buzzing razor in her hand clicked off. Asterisk Mr. Carter, she began, her voice shaking slightly. Asterisk, but he cut her off with a look. Asterisk his gaze shifted slowly from the razor to his half-shaved son, to the stunned woman kneeling on the floor. Asterisk silence pressed down on the room like a held breath. Asterisk what? He finally said, his voice low and cold, is going on here? Asterisk no one spoke at first. Asterisk then Jamie, still on the table, puffed out his chest and raised one fist in the air. Asterisk she's making me Captain Falcon, like in the game. Look, Daddy cool, right? Asterisk Rose's lips parted as if to explain, but no words came out. Asterisk Mr. Carter's eyes never left her face. Asterisk the smile faded from Jam. Asterisk Rosa slowly rose to her feet, careful not to make any sudden moves. The razor still clutched loosely in her hand. Her voice, when it came, was calm, but edged with nerves. Asterisk Mr. Carter, I'm so sorry. Jamie asked me, begged me to do it. The nanny left early, and he didn't want to wait. I told him it wasn't a good idea, but he looked at me with those eyes and said he wanted to surprise you. Asterisk she glanced at Jamie, who now stood still, unsure, blinking up at his father. Asterisk I didn't mean any disrespect, she added quickly. He said it was for you. He said he wanted to look brave. Asterisk Mr. Carter looked at his son again. That sweet face, that crooked grin he always made when he knew he was pushing boundaries. The kid hadn't changed a bit. Asterisk, but the sight of that half-shaved head clumsy lines. Patch's mist still unsettled something in him. Maybe it was the chaos of it. Maybe it was the lack of control. Maybe it was just the fact that he'd come home expecting peace and order, and instead found this absurd display in his living room. Asterisk, he exhaled through his nose, long and slow. Asterisk, Jamie's shoulders drooped a little. You don't like it? Asterisk, Mr. Carter's jaw tensed. Then he stepped forward, knelt in front of his son, and looked him straight in the eyes. Asterisk, you scared me, he said quietly. Coming in and seeing this scene you like this, it caught me off guard. Asterisk, Jamie's lower lip quivered. I just wanted to look cool, like a hero. Asterisk, there was a beat of silence. Then Mr. Carter sighed again, but softer this time. He reached out and ran a hand gently over his son's head, feeling the uneven stubble beneath his palm. Asterisk, you do look like a hero, he said, a very enthusiastic one. Asterisk, Jamie grinned again. Asterisk, Mr. Carter stood and turned to Rosa. His voice was firm, but no longer cold. Asterisk, next time, just use scissors. Or wait for me. Asterisk, Rosa nodded, her eyes filled with apology. Yes, sir, of course. Asterisk, Mr. Carter looked around. Hair clippings on the floor. The razor still humming faintly on the coffee table. The lingering quiet. Asterisk, he shook his head, a reluctant smile tugging at the corner of his mouth. Asterisk, clean this up before your mother sees it, he said, giving Jamie a wink. Asterisk, Jamie giggled and jumped down from the table. You're not mad? Asterisk, Mr. Carter ruffled his hair again. Let's just say you owe me one, and maybe a real haircut. Asterisk, Jamie gave him a thumbs up and ran off to get the broom. Asterisk, Rosa watched them, then slowly bent down to unplug the razor, a hint of relief crossing her face. Asterisk, and just like that, the house started breathing again. Asterisk, his lips, confused by the sudden shift in mood. Asterisk, in that moment, time seemed to hold its breath. Asterisk, what he saw rooted him to the floor. Asterisk.